All right, guys, welcome to another Thursday, another live stream. Surprise myself sometimes. So I'm going to check out to see if everything's working. Still a live stream new, even though I've done two 24-hour live streams. Still feels like I'm a noob at this. So Mia PC actually had to show me last week how to do the the studio view. So that's pretty cool. I'm still not going to be able to use it because it's too confusing for me. But way, hello, Champ. Said first, but as a second comment. That's pretty a bold move, at least in my list. Andreas Brillant's coming around. Hello, welcome. Tyler, Imphenzia. And, okay, I'm going to stop with the names because I can't say them. Oh, yeah, there's Tarek, actually, who I called Tank last time because my vision's so poor. All right. Oh, nice, John. Thanks for having a simple name so I can say it. Well, your surname, Deggendorf. You German? All right. Called him out. Future of Blender. Yeah, we'll see. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome. Another Thursday, another not 10-minute build. I wonder if I should do another 10-minute build, episode 101. And I thought everyone who was actually excited that I was going to try something new last week was going to go, oh, like lack of imagination. So not to worry, though. I'm still thinking about it. I'm treating this as a second week off, believe it or not. So after the 100 episodes, I thought I'm still planning a little bit of how to progress, and I've read through the comments that you guys put on the last video. A lot of people seem to be quite excited to cover some more Unity stuff, and I will be doing that. So I'm looking forward to putting together a new format for that. All right, good evening. Greetings from Venice. Greetings back from Sweden here. Been a while, yeah, it's been about a week. He's playing with his cows. Cows. I don't know. Love from Canada, love from Sweden. Well, okay, so is this going to be a Unity and a C# stream? Not just yet, but bear with me. Even though we don't hardly have any bears here, just bear with me. Let's see, I've been working through your Unity car racing game. Nice. Jules, cool. God kväll, Ola. Jet Grove, welcome. Love from India. So I'm looking, the chat is right there. My computer is there. And the thing is, oh, Jim Engström, Haninge. I said I was going to come by you this week. I apparently lied. So I'm putting my winter tires on tomorrow, though, because the snow came. Maybe there's another chance. Can I join your indie dev crew? Tyler said. I'm not able to do so at the moment because we're a very small, like with a tight-knit group with limited time. So I'd just disappoint people if... but you can join the Discord, and there's a lot of indie devs there. So hang out there. That'll be fun. All right. So... I'm going to give you a moment to just join in. Ghosty Fab, I'm seeing a lot of names showing up here. Hello from Ukraine. Eve Uptime, cool. Welcome. So, okay, interested about showing how to do textures with Substance Painter and Designer. Yeah, I love actually Substance Designer a lot. I've done a lot of procedural textures in that. So that's I love that program until, unfortunately, Adobe purchased it, which sucked a little bit. So... I think, but the licensing is terrible because I pay that every month, and every time I launch the thing, I have to download a new license because the online licensing isn't working anymore. So, is the visual scripting better than coding? I would say no. Coding is, I find, more efficient and at least for me, faster to progress. And if you want to do visual scripting, I'd say that it's basically like programming but without typing, and it takes a bit longer. But sometimes it's nice to get the visual, like. I don't know, like seeing how everything is hooked up. But pretty much when you do the visual scripting, you still have to do like if statements, you have to do different type of state machines, you have to do, it's just like, it takes a little bit longer to do it. You have to define variables instead of just having a line of code. You have to like drag a box in and declare something in there. So I'd say like simpler scripting is usually like, I don't know, feels more solid to me. And how do you know when you must put a capital letter in the word for C#? I don't know. There's probably some joke I should know, but I don't. All right, four-legged rigged animal. I think didn't I do that one time? Probably not. I was thinking if I did... no, probably haven't. I've only done it offline, so... No Discord tonight. How do you mean no Discord? I'm... oh yeah, afterwards I'll do Discord. Oh yeah, more content on music producing for sure. That's going to be fun. And this is live. Yep, that is. So, all right. Give everyone a chance to join up. We've got 70 viewers. Welcome back. I hope. So I'm not going to repeat myself as much as I did last week. I'm still thinking about what to do with the channel, and for sure it's going to be game dev, it's going to be still Blender stuff, and it's going to be Unity, and it's going to be trying different game dev engines. After last week's session, I'm leaning towards doing compiled videos instead of doing the live streams, but I might mix it up a little bit. I haven't fully decided yet. I just feel like I could deliver more compact content and not waste people's time, maybe if I do it into videos. I tend to like drag out my streams a little bit and talk about unnecessary stuff and repeating myself. But at the same time, it's nice to be able to hang out and like see what you're putting in the comments, so maybe I'll do a little bit mix up. For this week's episode, if you call it that, Imphenzia Thursday, before we kick it off proper with the game dev tutorials, since I showed the trailer last week of Lionware, and since I'm heavily invested in this game, both mentally and like emotionally, so we've been developing Lionware for 2.5 years now, coming up onto the 3rd year. And we're currently discussing with some publishers, and we're trying to decide whether we should go with a publishing deal or if we should do self-publishing. So nothing of that is decided yet, still thinking about it. But at the same time, we're doing development, and we're doing the most tedious, boring thing at the moment, which is we're trying to implement tutorials. It's a must thing to do, and for a game like this, it's very complicated because you have to basically take all the multiplayer logic, repackage it, and make everything so you can instruct people how to play it, how to draw a command, how to validate that they've done it correctly, get the speaker voices, the information boxes, and guide people. And I know that a lot of people are going to skip through it, but we have to have that in place for a game like this. And to make this episode a little bit different and carry on just a little bit from last week, I'm actually going to play Lionware. And I saw in the Discord that, well, let's see, I think it was Obel. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just checking the Discord now. He actually said that just a few minutes ago, maybe he'll play a game of Lionware, and that was a bit scary that I actually thought that, because I just thought about that myself for about half an hour ago. So that was fun. So let's go. I've spoke to my co-developer, Christian. So it's the two of us that are developing this game, and we're going to be playing a match. So I'm going to transition. Thanks, Mia PC, for showing me how to do the transitions. And I'm going to try to talk to you about how I'm playing the game, and then I'm also going to mix in a little bit about the game development journey and everything like that. So it might, I'm just setting myself up to lose, just so you know. And I have done some streaming of this game in the past, about, well, in March last year, or no, this year in March on Twitch. But it hasn't really been that many people watching, because on my Twitch, it's not really been so active, and it was a bit random when we did it. So I really want to do this one. I'm just going to do one more check because I'm not going to check the chat too much while I'm playing it. But I'm going to try to speak as much as possible. And I'm definitely going to focus a lot more on tutorials for sure. That's so just bear with me, hang in there. I know you're all eagerly waiting, so I'm really looking forward to like getting in depth with those. All right, let's go. So this game, Lionware, it's a real-time strategy game, RTS game, but it's inspired a lot from other game genres, like 4X, if anyone knows what that is, auto battlers, and we've taken a lot of elements from different strategy games and packaged them into something that we believe is a new type of game. And I think there's an audience out there that don't necessarily know that they'll like this game yet. Maybe it's like board game players who actually want to go more into real-time strategy games. Or maybe it's people that think that the RTS games are too complicated or too fast and want something a little bit more slower, where you can think a little bit more and have a good time playing a strategy game. So we're thinking that it's going to be a game, and since it's so new and different, I think it'll grow in with people and they'll find out more and more. And maybe when the first time you try it, it's a little bit strange because you haven't played anything like it before. And I think for most people that watch it, it looks slow, but when you start playing it, you'll realize that it's like mentally, it's like when you play chess, for example. It doesn't take very long to move a piece, but when you're on a timer or something and you have a lot of things to think through, it's actually a little bit more stressful. So one of the things that I've worked a lot on this game is actually this map generator, and I'm thinking about covering maybe parts of that in future videos as well, because it's a Voronoi diagram that spawns up all of these territories, and it converts those into different textures, and then it creates the geometry, and it assembles this big map with different layers. We've got the terrain, the oceans, and everything like that, and the shorelines. We've got distribution of mountains and also some trees and everything like that. So it's been a fun journey. It's seen a couple of iterations on this map generating, and you can also see that it's a bit dimmed out in the edges here, but it does seamlessly repeat. And one of the design goals that we have for this game is that you should be infinite scrolling. So when you're zoomed in a little bit like that and you keep scrolling to the side, like it's like you're rotating around a planet. But at the moment, it's only fixed like as if it was a board like this. And just to quickly run through, when we start the game, we're going to pick a starting location. That's a new thing with this game that you don't see in most other strategy games. First of all, it's not symmetrical. So we balance this whole game instead by having a map that is not symmetrical, which is kind of cool to not have that like quad mirrored look on everything. But the thing is now we have to pick a starting territory and we have to realize where's the good stuff on this map. Usually it's good to start somewhere centrally where you can expand. And it's also good to find these things. We've got like refineries here that we can build to gather energy. We've got some trade routes here, can generate a lot of capital. Here we can build a different type of towns. And we've don't actually have a city site on this one, which is a bit surprising. But maybe I'll play a map with those in the future as well. So I don't know if, Christian, if you're watching this game, Basantos, that's the co-dev, I'm going to go for a start. Let's see, I have to think about what to do now. I need energy, so I want to start probably... there's a balance here to go either for a lot of territory. This one's connected. So you have to read the map. This is like quite different from a chessboard because they're always like 64 squares, 8 by 8, black and white. And this is like every map that we click random on here, we have to figure out like how to play this. This could be very lucrative if you have some trade, like merchant ships here, but don't think I'm going to be able to like capitalize on those because they're quite tricky to build and protect. You get a lot of submarines sneaking in there. So all right, let's have a look. I'm going to start. Got energy. Got some stuff here, and I think there's a lot of money on this continent. I'm gonna start here, expand here, build some airports, ships, and then ship over. Let's go for it. All right. Will you be live every Thursday? I don't know yet. I haven't decided what format, but I think I'm going to release videos at least every Thursday, and they're probably going to be premieres, and maybe I'll mix it in with some future live streams. This is another one-off. Still recovering or relaxing a little bit from the current pause, at least, of the 10-minute modeling challenge. So let's hope everything's showing. Yeah, I'm not blocking anything up in the left corner. No, that's right. So hope the sound is actually enabled. We'll find out. So I'm setting myself up to lose. I'm realizing I can't speak at the same time as I'm playing this, really. So let's see. I'm going to grab... You get to pick 5 star territories, and if we pick the same location, it'll get banned. But I have a feeling Christian might start over here, where the big continent is actually. Should I go for that one? I'm going to try. Very, very cornered location. Let's go for it. 1, 2. And then one more there. Let's go for this one because I need the energy well. And let's grab one over here as well. So let's have a look. I'm going to grab... So the big difference with this game is that you draw commands like this. So you don't select all the individual units. You draw these path commands, and now the units will automatically start following these. And then we can start building stuff. So I'm going to put an airport up here somewhere. Let's see. Well, let's stick it there. And then I'm going to build some different... we have got different type of aircraft, so I'm going to build strikers there. I'm going to build a shipyard in here because I want to be able to start shipping troops across. And I'm going to build a barrack here to produce some units. And then I'm going to put a refinery here so we can start generating some energy. I'm already scared now because I think I'm going to lose. I think there's so much land masses over here, so much money, and also these sea territories that I didn't even think about before. So I'm going to try to go for a quick push across and gather like a foothold on this continent, but I have a feeling I'm going to get overrun here. This is... hope the music is not too loud, actually. So this game is Lionware. I'm working on this game. We've been working on it for a year, 2.5 years now. So I'm responsible for a lot of all the visual stuff, the modeling and audio, sound effects, and a lot of the programming that's front end, including the map generator, the procedural world generator, and getting like visual stuff, a lot of shader coding and stuff. And Christian is doing all the like heavy lifting when it comes to the architecture of the game. He's really good at object-oriented programming and builds a superb foundation. He does all the AI, all the troop movements, all the basically all the net code, all the server end stuff. So I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna start shipping these guys across now. So I'm gonna get my troop ship up to there. Once these have finished conquering, I'm going to bring them up here. So these path commands will just grab these units. Once they're finished conquering these with little pie diagrams here, they'll start to come across. You can zoom in if you want, and I'm going to ship these guys over. You can also put a little speed like modifier onto the command, so they'll go a little bit faster, but it'll burn some more energy. And I only have 4 guys conquering that, so that'll take some time. Now let's jump across here. So to do amphibious transfers, you just drag from one continent to another, and the units and everything will understand that, okay, I'm going to get my troop ship, I'm going to send it up here, and I'm going to grab these guys and send them across. So, and then I just want them to spread out once they come ashore here. I'll have them spread out. I've got a lot of money here, so I should have really spent that. Let's start building some towns, and we can start sending these troops up. As soon as this ship, I'm going to queue, so I'm going to build a cruiser as well. A cruiser is a lot stronger, more powerful ship. I'm going to have this one. And as soon as these infantrymen here have conquered, I'm going to build a base here. I don't really have that much money yet, but once these towns are finished constructing, they're going to start to generate. Up here, we've got some information about how much economy we've got, how much energy we've got. You have to be careful with the energy because all the sea units and the air units and the tanks on land, they require this energy to propel themselves. And sometimes when your energy is taken out, you're a bit... yeah. I'm going to build some interceptors as well. They're going to get good against other aircraft, and then you can send them out to do a little bit more scouting. And as soon as I've got enough money now, I'm going to actually start to build... I can cancel. I don't really need this troop ship, so I'm going to start building a cruiser there instead. And just leave them building there. Need some more money now. But I'm going to send some aircraft out just to see. And when you click on an airport, you can see what the range is of the aircraft. And for these strikers, it's this blue line. So I'm going to send... let's see, I'll send them just on a little reconnaissance mission. And they'll attack anything if we see that along the way. And I should also start conquering this continent. I've shipped a few guys over already there. These are coming up after the conquering session there. I'm starting to gather enough money now so I can nearly build a new barrack here. All right, so I'm not keeping up so much with the chat, but you can see the units are very low poly. I model them very much and animate them as I've done in a lot of my videos. And since you watch or you play this game usually from this viewport, I found that actually the low poly models, they look crisper. I did high polyer versions with textures and everything, but they actually ended up looking a bit too smudged. So I prefer the low poly look when you've zoomed out like this. And it's also fun to see the history of everything that we've developed, because the map used to be super flat. They didn't have transparent water. It was just like a flat sheet of blueness here. So that was always fun. It's gone through a lot of iterations to improve those. When we started to introduce some trees, there's still a lot of work to be done. Right now, today I was working on. Oh, first of all, I have to build a new barrack there so we can get some guys. Today I started to work on awareness, so actually know, because it's a bit of a shader trick now to know where the different biomes are. So the computer doesn't really know that it's desert here. It's just a shader thrown out, a mix between like green and the stuff. That's why you've got areas. Maybe let's have a look here where you've got like. Oh, actually we were a bit lucky now, but sometimes you'll have like a pine forest growing across the desert, which is not really ideal. So, oh, I can hear the music changing now, and that's because I see this guy. So this is my first encounter with Basantos. And to start to... We don't really need to ship any more guys to there. I'm going to send them to this continent up here. Oop, too far. Okay, got a cruiser here. After that one's finished conquering, I'm going to send that down to here. I can build a port here now. And then we can grab one of those troop ships and send it over here. because I want to start shipping these guys so I can start building these trade routes. Would be very important. These have nearly finished conquering. Oh yeah, so the computer doesn't really know that there's a desert here, so you can throw up a pine forest right in the desert. Not ideal. But so I'm working on just changing that so it's not just shader driven. It's going to be like more logic that the splat map is containing that information, so I can put some cactuses instead there. Should be better. Right, I'm going to send some more aircraft. Have a look what's going on there. We can start to build. This one is going to go up to here. I have to build some artillery here maybe, and some SAM, because I did see that he had an aircraft. We had a destroyer there that might shoot down my poor little troop ship. These can continue to expand, and when that's finished. So let's have a look what he's doing here. So I know that he's conquering this whole plot of land now. We can start sending some more troops down after they've conquered. He must be planning something very strange. I would have expected to see a lot more action. So maybe he's kind to me because I'm streaming. Oh, there's an airport. Interesting. I don't think he expected, but I think I'm going to... These guys are going to intercept me before. I could have tried to send these, but I think this troop ship, unfortunately, is going to die. So I'm going to try. And you can actually click on these as well to have the units forcefully attack them. But and then... Okay. He's going to take out my barrack here. He's going to paradrop a couple of 4 commandos there. I'm going to try to shoot them down with my aircraft, but I have a feeling that he might be able to take this barrack out before I get a chance to do that. As soon as these have conquered, I'm going to start building my trade routes here. I can maybe build that one meanwhile up here. So now it's when it starts to get a little bit more hectic on what to do. To move these guys off the shoreline, because it makes no sense that they're standing there taking a beating. Those paratroopers did a successful drop there and shut down my barrack. And over here I'm going to send my cruiser up here instead. And I'm going to build some... Let's see, I'll build another shipyard here. And I'm pretty sure he's going to come with submarines to try... As soon as I establish these trade routes, he's going to try to attack those. Okay, and we've got tanks here. This is going to be a problem. I have to retreat with these guys. And we've got the cruiser. I'll put that there for now. I have to produce some more troop ships now, because... So, you have to tidy up the commands. It's easy to forget that sometimes. I have to clear those. And as soon as this is... So I can see on this... Oh, I'm pointing to the screen now. So, for anyone who's just joining, this is a game that I've developed along with Christian. So it's 2 of us that have created this game. And we're about 2.5 years into development. It's a strategy game, and it's... turns out that it's super tricky to build a strategy game. It takes so much work. You have to get the net code up to run. You have to get everything working. You have to get all the AI, the balancing... all of that needs to go into place before you actually get anywhere with the game itself. So it's so super time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. So he's starting to... I'm going to get pushed back now. I don't think... let's see. He's already even shipped some anti-aircraft stuff over here. I'm going to be building something here. Let's build a few things. I have to send some reinforcements across here. They're not doing much good circling there. I'll put my cruiser down here afterwards, so he can protect these buildings that I've built. I'm losing this one, so I'm going to retreat. This is a move line now, so I'm going to try to retreat my troops across to there. And let's bring this cruiser up to here. That's one that's not constructed just yet, so soon I'll be able to do my trade route. I'm going to put a little defense line here, so they'll actually start digging down here now. And provided that I can put my cruisers here on the fringes, they should be able to shoot down. And he's still got this SAM here, so I can't really send my aircraft. They'll knock those out. This one's nearly finished, so I can start producing my merchant ships here. Here we go. There's that cruiser. I love that one. It's firing in all directions. Okay, let's see. Now I have to start sending my aircraft anyway. So creating some commands here just to support this line now with my... Unfortunately, the SAM, he's protected it really smartly behind here. This one's nearly finished, so I can build... I really want to build that port here so I can get my trade routes going. Meanwhile, I can construct this one. Let's put a defensive rocket here as well. I need... let's stick that one here. He hates when I do defensive rockets, but I don't really have much of a choice now. I need to be able to wipe that one. So they can continue to conquer up here. And one thing that's been really important, and something that I haven't really done much when I've developed my prototype games, is that I haven't really learned so much about testing. And for a game like this, it's very important that you test everything. So Christian is super good at building the testable code. He does a lot of dependency injection stuff and lots of stuff, patterns that I had no clue how they worked. But actually it's super useful now that when you develop the game, it can everything can be tested. So when we make a change to the command system or something, they'll run about 200, 300 tests, and then it'll come out to say if there's any issues with it, whatever tests fail, and we can rectify that, hopefully before it's too long in. Otherwise, on a game like this, it would be super difficult to have code performing, and then when you make a change, you'll break it somehow without even noticing it, and you don't really want the players to be the ones that detect those problems. I have to build another refinery, and then I'm going to build one of these depot things that stores energy, so we can link those up like this, and that'll start pumping any excess stuff into there. Okay, I'm going to switch my aircraft command off, and I've left him to his own device up here for way too long. Now I'm going to build my port here. So finally I can get those merchant ships coming when this port is finished. And I'm trying to see if he's got anything here now that I could destroy along the way. I'm going to send a couple of ships, or these ships, up to detect if he's got any submarines incoming. I have a feeling that also I'm going to send some aircraft down here, because I think he's going to build something up and attack me from down here. I feel like I've left this in the fog of war for too long now. So I might as well conquer these on my way. And I've got a lot of troops here now. I can start shipping some across. He'll have a big tank thing. I think he's going to surprise me now in a minute with some crazy stuff that I haven't expected. Still got those. I've got all these trade routes potentially here. Not sure if I'll be able to get the benefit from them. Send some ships out. Okay, as I suspected, I had a feeling, and I think my strikers will actually reach here, so I'm going to try to take this shipyard out. He's accumulating an invasion force here. I had a feeling he'd do something like that. So I have a feeling also that he's built a lot of stuff up here in the oil fields, so I'm going to try to shoot anything like that down. Maybe he's left that quite vulnerable. And let's see. My strikers, they reach this, yes. So that's good. They're going to refuel now, and then they're going to start shooting down that shipyard. I've got quite a good presence with my unit and production here, so it should be safe. We've got the ports are starting to get roughly finished. As soon as this one's finished now, we'll start seeing these trade routes kicking in. I've got these ships up here. I should link this refinery up to here. Oops, clicked it. So again, for anyone joining now, I'm playing a game of Lionware, so this is the game I've been working on for the past 2.5 years. I said I wasn't going to repeat myself, but I have a feeling that some new people are joining in. You can wish this game on Steam. We're releasing it next year, and there's still quite a lot of development to be done. We're going to be doing a lot of tech upgrades and boost the visuals and the AI and everything, but it's fully playable. We've played about 2,000 hours in total in the closed alpha community now. So it's working really well and stable. I'm going to say that, and hopefully not. The game hopefully won't crash. But we're playing a lot of matches. They're about 40 minutes long to an hour or so. And I'm not really playing it to my full potential, I can feel, because when I'm trying to talk, I'm not maybe doing the greatest. But this troop ship, I'm going to actually start shipping some units across up here now. So let's send my troop, if I could draw up my command here. So, scout, he's got some cruisers, I'm actually going to just move past these. And see what it's got there. So, I still haven't shot this, which is frustrating me a bit. I need to get rid of this shipyard. It must be on its last few fumes here. What has he built? He's built missile ships down. I can see some rockets flying there. Okay, I don't want to send these ships up. I need to go down with them here. Okay, this must surely fall now. I'll have to send some ships down to do the job instead then. There we go. Finally managed to knock that one. Oh, I got my rocket now as well. Now I don't really need the rocket. Oh, he's got a presence up here. Can the rocket reach to there? It can do. I should actually check what's going on up here first. Oop, up here we've got a lot of stuff going on. Let's send this. I'm just gonna take out... He doesn't have a trade route here. I'm just about outnumbering those, but he's got production there. I'll just take this one out. I think I need to ship some troops up to here. And I want to send these here. Let's have a look down here. I have to sweep this coastline. Let's just keep expanding. Let's move them across. And they're unable to defend themselves because these are destroyers. They don't really know how to fight against aircraft. And there I lost my last ship. So now it's when it starts to pick up a little bit more. I have to start building anti-aircraft here. And maybe the cruisers can reach to attack this one. Yeah, they'll be able to fire on that one. He's already conquering here. I have to send my aircraft up to there. Don't need to ship any more down there. Oh, he blew up my port. Okay. So I left that one. Finally, when I got my trade routes going, all the trade routes are dependent on this one as well, apart from this one. Don't know why I built that one. So let's do a little scouting here. I'm going to send a rocket up here. Let's wipe the field a little bit up here. I have to... Oh, I've got way too much money. Why have I should have... I've been talking too much. Okay, I don't really need to send the rocket up here yet. That one's burning there. Okay, I've got my aircraft to do that, and let's wipe this. Let's clean this a little bit now. I wish I could see if he had some more. Okay, he's gonna paradrop somewhere. I don't want to waste my rocket just yet. Let's build some more barracks up here. No, I'm not going to be so passive. I'm actually going to move my troop ships to here. Let's try to go to his airport instead. Oop. Okay, I'll move these down. Try to push a little bit further. They don't do anything good down there. Okay, I'll have to build up a force up here instead. I need some of those. Alright. Time to build some troop ships. So I can start shipping some more units across there. Oop. I hit the commands there. Come back! Come back! You cannot, as a single troop ship, attack that big fleet there. Okay, so it appears that I'm losing on all fronts at the moment. Let's do a speedy one there. And he's wiped me clear there. I have to bring the ships that I've got up here. He doesn't have any anti-air stuff here, so I have to send my aircraft up. Got a few poor guys trying to do some damage there. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna drop them here. Now I'm trying to figure out where to shoot my rocket. I don't have any vision. Okay, I have to launch my rocket now then. Let's get rid of them. He's gonna take that launch pad out, so, and everything else that I've got too. I think I'm gonna lose some aircraft in this process. Okay, I'm doomed now, pretty much. He's destroyed my rocket pad. I'm shipping for some reason over units to there when I actually need them down here again. I've hardly got anything left up here. This is pretty much over and done with now. I've lost this one. But we don't need any more troop ships, so I'm gonna go for that one. So these trade routes are lucrative, but I focused a little bit too much trying to build them, and I lost my offensive. I had a bit of a push going down here. That failed. This is not really going to do much good. He's well ahead of me economically and everything like that, so I'm going to give this a go. And some players, when they play this, they'll fight into the last second now and go, oh, I'm going to drag it out, because the win condition at the moment is that you have to destroy all the opponent's buildings, and that would take some time, and we're still developing this. So at some point we're going to introduce a win condition, so it's pretty much not worth carrying on anymore. He's got control over this whole main island all the way over here, down here, and these are going to shoot down my airport. So once you've scouted like this, you press F10 and you go resign. And then we can look at some statistics. So it was quite even when it comes to the economy, about 20,000 each generated there. I lost a tremendous more amount of structures lost there. I lost 3,800 worth of structures and everything like that. So, and very poorly played, but it was fun. I wanted to show you the game. It's sometimes as well when you play. Oh, you can download the replay as well. I didn't do that. Hope Christian did that. So let's check out on the let's see. Wishing you great success with your RTS project. Looks pretty cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. How big is the team working on this game? It's 2 of us. It's only me and Christian, the guy I just played against. So we've worked on it for 2.5 years. Christian came to me. He's been thinking about the game itself for about 20 years because he created a board game and came with the idea to me about 3 years ago now. And then we got started. We formed a company, Studio Centurion, and then we've been working on this game since then. So it's playing it. I'm not that much of a strategy player, really, but mainly because I think a lot of the games like StarCraft 2 and stuff, it was only really the simple race, like the Terran, that interested me. I didn't really understand too much about the Zerg and Protoss and stuff. So what I liked about this game idea is that it's like recognizable units and it's not like a click fest. Even though you have to do quite a lot of stuff with the command system, it's nowhere near the amount of microing that you have to do in a game like that. So that sort of attracted me to it. So I've been working on it for, it feels like a long time now, and it is a long time. And the further you get into a project like this, progress is really fast in the beginning, and for understandable reasons. The further you get into it, the more tricky it is, the more difficult it is. So stuff that may seem as a small change could have like a ripple effect on everything else that you need to do. So it takes longer and longer to develop it. With that said, it's been going really well. Let's see. Another match. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I'm going to check up on a little bit more on the questions here. Oh yeah, so people are asking, right now it's only 1v1. Definitely, we're really looking forward to adding 2v2, 3v3, and potentially also like a co-op mode. So it's only two, like red and blue versus against each other, but you could potentially play with maybe like 4 players that could co-op. So you control, since you draw the commands, you could have different areas of responsibility. That would be a lot of fun. So let's have a look. Amazing, confusing mayhem, like it. Yeah, it's you start to get used to it, and when you see like new players playing it, and I understand that it's like a bit confusing at first when you draw a command, like why aren't they attracted? And you have to start to like understand a little bit that you can enable these filters and stuff. So I can see that it's a bit confusing in the beginning maybe, but once you start learning how it works, it's a lot of fun to just sit and play the game and read everything that's happening. And then when you start to realize that you have to shift your focus somewhere and it's spread across the map, and you start seeing these like paratroop things coming in, or it's like a bunch of submarines or tanks gliding in. So it's fun. I'm just going to... So thanks a lot for... Oh yeah, you can wishlist this game now. So unfortunately, I didn't put it in the description, but if you just Google Lionware and go to the Steam page, you can click on wishlist, and that'll help us out a lot if you do that, because the Steam algorithm focuses a lot about wishlist ads, so that could help us out a lot. So, and as someone said, yeah, it's multiplayer only at the time of early access release, but at some point we will be adding single player. But for the same reason that we have waited so long with the tutorials, is because for a game like this, it's like developing the multiplayer like core like loops and everything, and the game mechanics. It's one way, like one thing to do. But when you start to add like a single player, you have to add another layer of AI, because we want in that case the AI player to draw the commands just like a player would, and it would like getting that whole logic in place is going to be a massive undertaking. So we have to get all the gameplay aspects nailed and in place before we can even attempt that. Otherwise, you have to redo that or maintain that work all the time. So, and let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, minimap, we initially had that plan. We've decided against it because you don't really need it, we feel. First, we didn't even have zoom in and out. But that's the minimap, I think, would possibly like overlap and confuse it a little bit more, because it's already at such a small game. Like Draco said, it's like basically like a minimap that you play on. And so thanks a lot for my mods as well, and for those who have helped to answer the questions during my game here. So, and PubG Zane said, boring bro, sorry. Yeah, it's not modeling. It's not everyone's cup of tea, strategy games. That's I understand that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So let's see. Netcode, question about netcode. We're actually using the old Unity netcode because they've been dragging their feet on releasing their new netcode. So Unity is finally, after years, they're releasing like their new netcode. I think it was out of preview not too long ago, but it's still like a lot of features of it is a bit on like preview-like. So we have to port everything at some point. That's the only reason we actually developed this on Unity 2018, and that's running out of long-term support now. So we have to up the Unity version and then shift the netcode now that one's finally finished. We could have used Photon as well, possibly. And the migration is going to be fairly straightforward because we're managing all the serialization and package management, or the serialization of all the stuff. We're doing all of that, so it should be quite easy to port. All right, so probably not mobile because it would be too, even though it looks like it's not really that performance heavy, I think trying to fit it on a small mobile screen would be too difficult. Maybe a tablet would work, or AR could work, like if you sat at the table. So, have you ever created a transformer in Blender? That was one of the things I was going to try to do within the 100 episodes that I did, and I fiddled with it a little bit to try to get something that looked respectable and try to find a technique for it. But getting those folds on the transformer, it's pretty tricky, so I never ended up doing it. So, thanks, Arvid. Glad you tuned in as well. So, is this all done in Unity, or did you use a different game engine? Everything is in Unity, so that's what me and Christian knows how to use. So, for a future upgrade, I think we're going to take it as far as we can with Unity, and when we upgrade it to the a later version of Unity, 2021 at some point, then we could boost performance and visuals by going with the ECS entity component system, using multi-threading a little bit more, and also doing things like with the high definition render pipeline, we could have got improve the visuals. All of that would add development time. So we've developed this one using the what was in place when we got started with it, because our main goal was to build a game and have it playable and see that everything was fun to play, first of all. And now that we've come to the conclusion that we think it's a lot of fun to play, it's going to be a long-term journey, or a long journey. So, but we're committed to keep developing the game, and that's the fun part about it. We can iteratively keep upgrading stuff and make it look better, play better UX, user experience, getting multiplayer in, building up some. We'd like to see it into some sort of an esport arena at some point, because I think being able to learn and see how the players playing with the visual commands, I think that could be quite beneficial. So. Oh yeah, remake it in Unreal. We don't really know how to program in C++, so, and that engine is still a bit of a mystery to us. So I think performance-wise, Unreal is a safer bet than for a bigger team and with more experience in it. That could have been doable, possibly. So, all right. I think it was fun just to show this one. I didn't have too much plans. I'm still, just to round it off, I haven't abandoned any game dev videos or anything like that. Unity and Blender is still heavily on my agenda, and I'm going to be doing a lot more for the channel on those topics. So I just wanted to show a little bit on the stuff that we've been working. I remember when we started to do the 10-minute modeling challenges, I could only mention, that wasn't even announced that I was working on this particular game then. So it's fun to come to a point where I actually can showcase a lot of the gameplay, and we'll see where it takes us. So I do this full time, and we've done it self-funded now for 2.5 years. So it's going to be fun to release it either through a publisher or ourselves to start making some money at it at some point. Because even though it's a passionate project and we love doing it, it'd be nice if we could actually turn this into a viable business, because that's what we'd like to do. It's more fun to do this than a lot of the other jobs that I've had, so fun. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for this week. Next week, we're back into game development videos, and Unity has to be on the top of my agenda because I've done so much Blender, so I'll marry the two again, but definitely some quick tips on Unity. Maybe we'll start a new project and get some of the fundamentals down. I've got a big, long list of tutorials that I've been wanting to make forever, and some of those, I could probably start compiling those into the Thursday videos, and I'm going to try to keep them to show, not the 1 hour and 1.5 hour videos. I'd like to package them a little bit more effectively, and I'll do the premieres for that. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in this week. I hope you enjoyed having a little glimpse to see what we've been working on for so long. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give it a thumbs up if you haven't done that too. And come back next week. Next Thursday is going to be another video. Same time, same everything. And until then,